So under a Biden presidency, top earners like 50 Cent living in New York could see their combined federal and state tax rates hit almost 60%. The Trump campaign in response joked that 50 Cent doesn't want to become 20 Cent. So I want to ask you, what do those kinds of high taxes do to the economy? Because it can't be good.
No, it's not at all, Kara. And again, 50 Cent must be one of the few celebrities who actually does his own taxes because he's smart enough to realize that taking 62 cents of every dollar by the government, which they would do, takes it out of the private sector. Kara, the government doesn't create anything. It doesn't create widgets. It doesn't produce anything. It simply takes from one party and gives to the other. And so it just kind of moves money around and then gets its cut in between. So by acknowledging what 50 Cent has acknowledged, he understands that it's more money in the private sector is going to drive job creation, job growth, and grow the economy in general. The pie itself can continue to expand as long as government is smaller and free markets are allowed to flourish.
And speaking of taking away money, Joe Biden and his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, they're promising that they won't tax anyone who makes under $400,000 a year. I know your institute recently did a study that contradicts that. Can you explain some of those findings?
Sure. There's so much misinformation out there right now, Kara, in terms of policy, and there's so much emphasis on personalities and politics. Even the first presidential debate was somewhat of a food fight. And so we at the James Madison Institute really wanted to dig into the policies, the economic platforms of each candidate. These are what they have said they're going to do if they are elected. And so we looked at these economic policies in five battleground states: Florida, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan, and tried to distill it down for mainstream America, for the taxpayer in each of these states, for the proverbial family of four. And so that's what we did. We tried to get beyond the politics and the personalities and really to focus on the policies. And it's really a stark contrast what we see with each candidate's economic platform.
And also we see Biden, he's been caught in several flat out lies because, again, to your point, he's saying that he won't raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000 a year. However, on the same hand, he's also saying that he will, on day one, reinstitute the individual mandate for Obamacare, which, as we know, passed the Supreme Court as a tax. He's also saying that he wants to repeal the president's tax cuts from 2017. And again, that will raise money for people who are average, everyday, hardworking Americans.
Yeah. If you look at our analysis, and your viewers can see it at jamesmadison.org, jamesmadison.org, very simple. We look at each state, and what you find is that were the Biden-Harris plan implemented, you would have Medicare for all, you would have the Green New Deal, you have the raising of the corporate income tax, you would have subsidies and mandates required by the Green New Deal, and it would cost in all five of these states between $8,000 and $14,000 per person per year. So for a family of four in the state of Michigan, for example, you're talking about a de facto tax increase of roughly $36,000 per year. In my home state of Florida, Kara, you're talking about, for a family of four, roughly $36,000 in tax increases per year. This is not politics. These are policies that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have signed onto with Bernie Sanders and have put forth in their platform. And I'll say one more thing that I think your viewers need to understand. If all of these policies were implemented, it would cost the United States taxpayer over a 10-year period roughly $36 trillion. Just last year, Kara, the entire GDP for the nation, for the entire country, was $21 trillion. So over the course of 10 years, you're talking about almost a year and a half where you would essentially have no GDP in America. And that's a staggering number.